Welcome to our van tour. We have finally reached the point where our van is functional, and with summer already half gone, we've decided to get out and enjoy it rather than spend another week or two trying to tie up loose ends. First, let's talk about the platform we chose. The Toyota Previa is an interesting minivan that was built in the 1990s and has some pretty unique attributes. First, it's a Toyota, so if it's well taken care of, it'll probably run forever. Ours was built in 1995 with a factory supercharged 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine, and with 611,000 kilometers on the odometer, it still drives like a dream. The previous owner gave it a 2-inch lift and transplanted a fully rebuilt JDM engine about 60,000 kilometers ago. This also has a factory 4x4 drivetrain, and when paired with its mid-engine design, it gives it unreal winter traction and stability. It also has all the power options, including air conditioning, airbags, and cruise control. Once we add an aftermarket Bluetooth stereo and heated seats, we'll have every modern luxury we could want. Next, let's talk about the interior layout. After looking at an endless stream of videos online, spending a year drawing out various layout ideas, and building 3 other vans, we settled on the ageless old-school Westfalia design. It was similar to our last van with a few minor tweaks. This layout gives us spacious cabinets down the driver's side with room for our fridge behind the driver's seat and electrical tucked neatly underneath. The rock and roll bed fills the bulk of the center of the van, leaving a lot of floor space when it's in seat mode. The back of the bed is a fixed section with more storage underneath. Eventually, we plan to add 2 drawers that pull out the back, but we're leaving that for next winter. The passenger side cabinet covers the wheel well and contains some small electrical components, but most importantly, it extends the bed surface by an additional 5 inches when the seat is converted into a bed. The rock and roll bed is covered in 5 inches of foam mounted to a 1/4-inch plywood sheet to give it some rigidity underneath. The rear bed sections can be lifted out to allow access to rear storage. We also made 2 lumbar cushions to fill the gap above the passenger side cabinet, making the bed almost 50 inches wide when fully made. The interior is built on an assembly of extruded aluminum. We used 80/20's 10 series, which is a profile that measures 1 inch by 1 inch. We see a lot of builds using the larger 15 series, but have found the 10 series to be unbelievably strong and 1/3 of the price and weight of 15 series. The 10 series also has a wider array of fasteners and add-ons, so for us it was kind of a no-brainer. When complete, we used about 40 pounds of aluminum in total, saving a significant amount compared to wood. The structure is connected to the van using seatbelt and grab handle mounting points, as well as a few rib nuts. This makes for a very solid installation. The rock and roll bed is attached to the main aluminum structure and can be taken out in just a few minutes if needed. We then clad the aluminum structure in a glossy 5/8-inch cabinetry material. The rich dark wood grain cabinets seamlessly tie the original brown interior color to the white and blue upholstery. The cabinets are completed by a 3-drawer unit that uses a push lock mechanism to open, saving us from needing to have pull hardware or slam latches. The electrical is neatly tucked under the cabinetry where it can be easily accessed. In less than a minute, the fridge and drawers can be removed to expose all electrical except the heater. The van alternator is the main source of power, charging the Renogy 200 amp-hour lithium battery through the Renogy 50 amp DC-to-DC charge controller. The charger is connected to the starter battery through a 1-gauge wire with an 80 amp fuse at both ends. None of our vans have ever had solar, as 200 amp-hours generally supports all of our power needs for 4 to 5 days of boondocking. The 70 amp factory alternator easily supplies 45 to 50 amps, which is the maximum drawn by the DC-to-DC charger, and can recharge the bulk of the battery in 2 to 3 hours of driving, or fully recharge it within 6 to 7 hours of driving. Our northern winters generally make solar useless half of the year, so up until now we haven't bothered to install it. This Renogy DC-to-DC charger is capable of up to 400 watts of solar, so we may add a small roof panel in the future just for some redundancy. If we have access to shore power, the Renogy 3000 watt inverter charger can allow us to fully recharge the battery in about 8 hours. We simply plug it in and the electrical system does the rest of the work. The inverter also allows us to run large AC loads with ease, like our electric kettle or a hairdryer. From this core system, we run a number of smaller items. The first is a 5 kilowatt diesel furnace, which is more than enough to keep us warm in the winter and can be throttled down to just under 2 kilowatts. The coldest we've run it is about -48, and we have a video of that night if you want to go watch it. We went with the larger heater as they are much more quiet than the smaller 2 kilowatt variants, yet they burn the same amount of fuel when throttled down. Ours draws cold air from inside the cabinets and under the bed and blows hot air out 2 vents, one near our feet and the other in the front cab to help keep condensation off the window. Once running, our heater draws about 3 amps and can run for almost a week on our 10-liter diesel tank. We seldom use the heater below -10 degrees Celsius as our blankets keep us very warm. For details on our blanket system, we did a whole video that talks about the system in detail, so you can find the link below in the description. The other smaller circuits include overhead LED lights, interior ambient lights, high-powered USB charging points, a 40-liter fridge freezer, and we plan to add a fan, outdoor floodlights, and a water pump this winter. We settled on a fridge freezer made by Bougie RV as it has swappable dual zones that can be set both as a fridge or a freezer individually. That was important to us because most of the others we found were very limited, where only the larger compartment could be a freezer and the smaller one was the fridge, rather than vice versa. The rock and roll bed is what makes the space so versatile. Converting in seconds, the 2 parts allow the space to take on a number of configurations. This way someone can sleep while the other one reads or works, or one section can allow longer items to be loaded in, like skis or snowboards. If you'd like a variation of this bed for your van, plans can be purchased from our website, gotmountains.ca. The plans contain links to the products you'll need, assembly instructions, illustrations, a cut list, and CAD files that allow you to modify it to fit any vehicle. For our kitchen, we opted to use a portable stove rather than a built-in unit. This allows us to cook outside, which we prefer to do most of the time. We can even unplug the fridge and bring it out with us if we need to. During the winter, we place the stove on the counter and can both sit comfortably while preparing our next meal. The cabinet doors can quick release, putting everything within reach of both seats. We still have a few small things we need to finish up, like the water cabinet that will have a fold-out sink, water pump, tap, and spray nozzle. The water cabinet will also include a small fold-out bag toilet for emergencies or spots where there isn't an outhouse or access to some sort of public washroom. 2 of the 3 AC electrical outlets still need to be installed, one near the side door and one near the rear hatch, and we plan to build a center console that will help organize everything between the front 2 seats. After a long month of building, we ended up with our dream stealth micro camper. We can park, sleep, and eat pretty much anywhere we care to explore. Whether we're parked at the base of a remote mountain or on a street in a busy downtown center, this little Japanese wonder gives us all the freedom and comfort we want after a long day of exploring. Thanks for watching, and if we missed something, take a moment to leave us a comment to let us know what other details you'd like to see. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see this van taking us on all kinds of adventures, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you again.